What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday after Memorial Day, about 10:45, 10:46 specifically. Was not in the office yesterday. And then my wife we had a 20-week doctor's appointment for her pregnancy. So I am just now getting into the office, which means um, all small group stuff is happening right now. So big shout out again, Carolyn and Linda putting all that together for us. So all I really had to do was um, basically they put it all in the planning center, and then I just take it and I print out what they say we're doing. Um, so huge thank you to you guys. Let's just jump right into it. We're in a new series, Ever After. We're talking through the story in the book of Ruth. So 4 weeks, Ruth chapter 1, Ruth chapter 2, Ruth chapter 3, and you guessed it, Ruth chapter 4. So the big idea, God gives us companions. And today is that Ruth and Naomi leave Moab. So if you don't know the story of Ruth, it's an Old Testament story, and it's about Ruth and another girl named Orpah, and they marry these two sons from Israel, and their sons have a mother and father, and the mother is Naomi. All three of the dudes die. Naomi's husband, Orpah's husband, Ruth's husband. And so she's like, hey, you girls should go back home to Moab. So these are not even God's chosen people. They are Moabites. In most Bible stories, they're the bad guys. And so Orpah, in fact, leaves. And there's a fun story about the name Oprah. Guess where that came from? You guessed it. So Ruth says, I'm not going to leave you, Naomi. Wherever you go, I'll go, and your God will be my God. Your people will be my people. And so they go back to Naomi's hometown. And so while they're there, long story short, she ends up meeting this guy, Boaz, who was a distant relative of Naomi. And in Bible times, that wasn't weird. And so Ruth marries Boaz, and then they have a kid named Obed. And then Obed has a son named Jesse, and Jesse has a son who becomes King David. And so Ruth actually, and then King David is in the line of Jesus. So Ruth, this Moabite, is from the line of Jesus. She's one of very few women who are named in the genealogy of Jesus when you go and you read in the Gospels. So really cool story. Again, that's 4 chapters of the Bible I just told you in 1 minute. But we are going to be just in Ruth chapter 1. Again, the idea that Naomi says, you should go home. And she goes, no, I'm going to be with you. God gives us companions. And so the first thing we're going to do in our small group is you can introduce yourself to your group and share your highs and lows from the week. And then you have this thing called the Pick a Pal. Okay. And so there's these things. Hey, if you had to name one of your friends that would be a really good person to do this with, who would be the most fun person to journey to a magical land? Who might be the best friend to conquer a powerful villain? Maybe it's protect your loved ones from danger. And so you can go through with your kids and let them answer those. For K1, feel free to give them a crayon and let them write those names in, or just talk about them. Older kids, give them a pen or a pencil or a marker or a colored crayon or whatever. And you go through and do that. So that's our first small group. We'll come together for large group. The game is going to be a game called Great Minds. Presently, there's no detail on the planning center, so I'm updating that next. I'm going to let this video upload so I can send it to you, and then I'm going to upload it or update it in Planning Center. Here's how the game works. I will give you a category on the screen, and so it'll be typed into ProPresenter, and it will say, name a superhero. That's all you got to do. So the host is going to have a whiteboard, and they're going to write down a superhero. And then you're going to bring up 3 to 4 kids, and they're all going to write down the name of a superhero. And if they match you, they get a point. And so the whole thing is you get points for, great minds think alike, and as would the companions that God gives us. So that's the idea there. So there'll be a bunch of different categories. Hey, name a fruit. And if I say banana and 2 kids say banana, and one says apple and one says pear, those kids get points because they said banana, just like I did, because, great minds think alike. So we'll play that. We have a new song for worship, debating if we're going to do 2 songs or just 1 song. We have a guest preacher this weekend, who I don't know who he is. Like, I saw his name, but that means nothing to me. So I have no idea if he's going to go long or not. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Well, we might cut one of our normal worship songs. So a new song called Wave Walker. The motions and song are attached. So in the Planning Center, if you go and you click on worship, it will have a place where you can click on that and open it up and watch it. And then our story, Ruth chapter 1. And then finally, we get to our second small group. So you have your questions as normal. So I'm not going to go into those because you know how to read questions. Prayer requests for your group. and then make up motions for the memory verse. Again, we have a shorter verse this week, this month, but it's only 4 weeks, not 5. So make up some motions so your group can practice those every week. You also have a memory verse page. I can't get it to fill out the whole thing. I'll keep working on it, guys. But it's a coloring page. That is just the memory verse so that kids can practice that. So you have that available to you as well. But I would say make up those motions so that way when kids are practicing at home, they can put that whatever the. I didn't make any motions for it yet, so I'm not even going to pretend. So you can do that. When you're done with that, you have a couple of options. One, I guess this would be one of the options in Jump that you can color. The mirror game, which is where you're just going to put kids in pairs and have them mirror each other. So one kid is the lead and one kid is the follower. And so if I go like this, my partner needs to do like that. And again, you're going, hey, you're going to be in partners, companions, and you're going to do this mirroring thing. For the younger kids, it says instead of pairs, kids can copy one leader and then switch the leader and get that person to try. So it's like if I'm doing it, all the kids are copying me. And then you can also play follow the leader around your room. And so with K1, again, you have those tables. You can go under the tables, over the tables, all that kind of stuff. That is it for the week. Again, pretty simple, straightforward. We'll find out after Thursday how we are on time. It should be good. I don't plan these things going, it's probably going to be terrible. It should work great. One quick thing to throw out for second and third grade leaders: your room has a rock wall now. Amy Jarvis and her husband Josh. Amy had the idea of a rock wall months ago, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then it was kind of like, yeah, when are we going to do it? And how are we going to afford a rock wall? And I reached a point where I said, Amy, because she kept giving me ideas. I said, Amy, if you bring me the dollar amount, I don't really care what it is. I'll say yes, and we'll make it work. And again, she didn't come back with like $20,000. It was in the hundreds. Okay. But anyway, so then her husband was home, and he travels a lot, but he was home, and she was like, hey, we can knock this out in the next week and a half. And I was like, okay, if you can do that, that's great. And then they did it in like 3 days. And so after church, we installed it. So there's going to be some rules posted on some pieces of paper so your kids don't get hurt. But that's you're going to come in, you're going to go, there's a rock wall in our room now. Yes, there is. So huge thank you to Josh and Amy for all the work they put into that. It's going to be super, super great. So with that being said, week 1, it's this weekend. Sending this out to you as soon as I can. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.